All right, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us. Let's go over to our game here. Thank you for coming by on this Tuesday. A little bit of a late start. It was inevitable. Tuesday has traditionally been plagued with all manner of tech blow-ups or things that happen in life. So, in all honesty, at this point, it's not a bug, it's a feature. But I appreciate you being here. We still have several hours of fun and role-playing ahead of us. So, howdy's out. Mana Buns, Craigar, Celtic Lady, thank you also for renewing your subscription. Famine Siren, also welcome back. Famine Siren is a newcomer here to the channel. Super Size, howdy, and Sierra Echo, I see you. I'm looking at you right now. For those of you who might be wondering why it's the middle of summer and I'm in a nice fleece garment, it's because the ceiling. So this is recorded for posterity for future posting, and for posterity, this time capsule, my ceiling is being reviewed for why the tiles were leaking, and the AC is on full blast right now, I guess, to try and get it to leak and find that out. And I'm just sitting here, and I'm so cold. So cold. Anyway, so a howdy. We don't have music. It's because... There we go. We'll get that volume adjusted. Now, you all can see in the audience that I am joined by 4 others here. That's right. I should go grab my thermometer from my printing room. That's normally kept at a balmy 85 and dry, so that my prints hopefully don't fail, even though they still do sometimes. Volatile, hello. Thank you for coming in. But I'm gonna unleash the microphones of my guests, my friends, my fellow players in our game. And we'll start with, I guess we'll just go in order this week of who's right across from me. So I want to welcome Celtic Lady, who is going to be playing Dr. Isabel Kent. You can see a little bio here, and we'll learn more about the characters very soon. But before we talk about characters, let's do what we would do as if we were actually friends. And not, I'm just kidding. We're sitting down. I know some of you have some snacks or drinks. This is what I enjoy also about these games, is that we have these moments that, hey, how are you? How was your weekend? The chatter you get before you get into the no fun allowed serious business of playing pretend. So Celtic, thank you very much for stepping up and wanting to play in our apples to oranges game of Everyday Heroes. Celtic, there's a nasty rumor going around that you can be seen broadcasting on Twitch now and again. Is that true?
Yes, that's true. I do play video games, surprisingly, or not, I guess. Lately I just started playing Once Human, which is very interesting.
What is Once Human about?
Basically sort of a post-apocalyptic world. Some big terrible star rift thing happened. Humanity got destroyed, and now there's these sort of spirits that animate half living, half mechanical things that are just really creepy. But you're basically trying to figure out the world and how to fix it. I'm not very far into it yet. It was free, so go ahead and download it, but it's a lot. It may take a while to get done.
Those are themes that may have similarities to what you'll encounter. So as any good role player, we steal everything not nailed down in novels, comic books, and video games. So you are absolutely welcome to lean into concepts or terminology. Now we'll meet the other players too, and then we'll meet your character, Celtic. Here, we'll meet your character in just a moment. But thank you for that. Let me give you a shout out as well. I think I think I'm the only mod in my channel.
Oh no.
There we go. So thank you very much. Let's move on down the line here. We have Night Mage. Thank you also for being a part of the community and wanting to step up. Night Mage is how are you doing? How are you feeling? How you? I don't know. How? Why? Where? There's so many questions.
Well, first, thanks for having me. Secondly, I saw a pretty good opportunity, especially once I started digging into it, to make like the most Jason Bourne character you could possibly make. And so I heavily leaned into that. How am I doing? Pretty good. Getting ready to go back to school here this fall. Going to be going into English. I too once tried to be a streamer on this platform known as Twitch, but after almost 2 years of like 30 to 40 hours a week, didn't really get anywhere. So I had to pursue other things, and now I run my own company called Night Mage Communications, which is not a communications company yet, but I'm hoping to do quite a few things and kind of loop my business back around to the Twitch, the social media stuff.
Yeah. If I give you permission to post a link, would you be able to post a link up in chat for people who want to look at it?
Oh, well, so far I don't really have any public-facing things.
Okay.
Because my business contracts with other businesses, and I contract directly through talking and email, so I don't need marketing material per se yet. But I am working on it. One day, I might have some marketing material.
Well, when you are when you're back in the streaming saddle, or if there's ever anything that we can do to get some eyes on what you're doing, let us know. We're a community. I love doing business with people who do business with me as well.
Cool.
If I can give you a platform, or if you do something that I can benefit from as well, because I'll tell you, going back to school, that's why I ended up getting my master's. I get my doctorate as well, but I don't have the time.
So the one thing that I am doing, to cut you off, sorry, is,
no,
and you can find this in your Discord, is in the what is it, the paid GMing thing channel? I forget what it's called. But so I am trying to run one-shots of systems that are not very popular on start playing games.
Yeah.
So I price mine out at $5 a seat for a 4 to 5 hour one-shot session.
That is very reasonable. I wish getting a charter fishing boat was $5 a seat for 4 to 5 hours.
Right? That'd be nice.
Boy, I really got to go fishing this summer. Well, then give Night Mage a look if you're looking for a game, especially if you want to try something that's not just D&D, if it's something a little bit more obscure. And yeah. Thank you, Living Meme. Thank you for popping in, and if you're getting going, I appreciate you still checking in.
I went the wrong way.
Passing it over to Sierra Echo, who has been a member of this community for a while now. I'm sure he has a very impressive followage, dude. And you'll be piloting Kincaid. Sierra, are you up to anything in particular, digital or in this weird meat space?
Not really. I avoid doing stuff as much as possible, really.
Wise.
Because, stuff is expensive anymore. It's...
There we go. Has your snake been basking in the sun?
They're under lights, so
okay.
they are enjoying summertime and keeping them well supplied with mice, small rats. Yes.
As you do out in Western Ohio, that's.
Yep. I mean, well, Western Ohio, Colorado is. We've got the mountains out here. Just...
Hey, out towards Toledo, there's some hills here and there. And some windmills, I guess, to catch all the wind that blows over the very flat land. Well, thank you.
I'll take your word. I'll take your word on that. I mean, going outside would be doing stuff, and as established earlier.
True. There's that baleful Daystar out there that just really that ruins everything.
Your star burns. It's
Uh, well, thank you very much for not only just being a community member for as long as you have, but for taking some time out here to sit down and play some Everyday
Thanks
Heroes with
for
me.
hosting the game.
I hope to not incredibly disappoint you and embarrass you. Bare minimum, okay? Bare minimums here. It's just like this is like it meets all legal standards of being a liquid beverage or whatever. It's this is
Legally and distinct from other known beverages.
yeah. Yes, it is also legally distinct from anything that might possibly have the similar coloration and consonant in the name. All right, and then we are at the lastly and not leastly, Big Slam, who's going to be piloting. I'm sorry, I should have asked if you would rather be called Bernard or Thorn. That's a shame on me. But I thought Bernard is it's such a wonderful name. So I defaulted to Bernard, and I hope that works with you. But Big Slam, also, you've been a member of this community for a while, and I do appreciate you taking time to spend with us in our workshops, and especially here on the odd Tuesday doing some role-playing. What's going on with you? Do you have any projects in the works? Do you do any streaming or hobbies or anything in particular you wanted to talk about?
I don't do streaming or anything like any watch like yours. I'm I'm probably the biggest like D&D role playing nerds out there. I'm currently in like 4 or 5 other different games. I've talked about multiple characters and other groups in the chat before, but I'm really excited for this. Something new, something fresh, and Bernard will go first name basis. He's an interesting character, and Ben, I see you, volatile in the chat. He's my GM for my Tal'Dorei camp. Love you, man. And his niece did the art for Bernard.
Oh. All right, then. That's awesome.
Yep. She's an amazing artist. She's an amazing gal.
I'm very grateful then that you were able to give some business to you were able to give some business to her to help Bernard Thorne come to life. Okay, well then we are going to get started. How this is going to work is we're going to have a vignette of introductions now to the characters. We've been warmed up as human beings who enjoy doing human being things and hanging out as human beings are wont to do. Now it's time to enter a fantastic world of imagination where fun is actually allowed and will be big damn heroes, hopefully, at least by the end. Or die trying. So there's that catch-all. It's a hell of a safety net. Now, I did see...
That's
go ahead.
the F word.
What's that?
I said, ooh, that nasty F word.
Yeah, yep, that's true. That's the 3-letter one that we technically can say. Now, I don't have the mature tag on, and we're technically allowed to say 1 in a PG-13, but if you gotta drop a couple more, we'll say that this is, this is like a... It's not mature, but, we're adults in the room. So if you feel that something needs to come up, there's a particularly action-y scene, you can deliver a line or something, and it can be intense. Now, Lucius redeemed 2 Fickle God's favors, and I think a couple more might still be available. Now, for you as players, you might know how this works in my role-playing games. This is where members of chat who are watching are blessing you, or me, wink wink, come on everyone, or blessing me with a fickle god's favor. In this game, it will manifest in the form of you're able to call in the fickle god's favor for turning a disadvantaged roll into a normal roll, or a normal roll into an advantaged roll. So it'll shift things in your favor one step. Right now, it looks like Dr. Kent and Fragment are each floating 1. Now, for your characters, since we are starting out, you can have a starting inspiration that you'll have, and whether or not that refills after you use the one that's on your sheet, that will depend if something interesting happens, a cool line is delivered, or a fun, intense moment. Because we're here to play this as an action movie, as a fun, sit down, eat some popcorn, some thrills, spills, and chills, and we go forward from there. And so if what you do is along those lines, then you may absolutely refill your inspiration with a hint from me as your GM. Oh, it looks like Kincaid and Bernard are floating them too. Now, I do have my redemption screen open on the side, so if you all need a reminder who has it. Also, for you as my players, our Everyday Heroes channel, you're welcome to use that to communicate between each other, pass notes, or post memes, as I've had my other games do. My Vampire the Masquerade one is especially spicy. It's like the players really enjoyed things and were bantering with each other as I was running things. So you all are absolutely welcome to post notes or other things there. Let's get things going with a quick introduction to where this is happening. Now, this is a modern setting, so for all of us, the conveniences of mobile devices, automobiles, the ability to travel by rail or by ship in something that's even more advanced than a steamship. We're beyond Call of Cthulhu, turn of the century, well, the 1900s anyway, technology. So many modern conveniences exist. You'll find a lot more indoor plumbing than you will in D&D, although I think most of us just ignore the fact that indoor plumbing doesn't widely exist in D&D anyway. So for this being a fantasy world, and maybe some of you out there might be vaguely familiar with the map in front of you, you are welcome to make modern presumptions about things. Most people are carrying some sort of mobile device. There are various forms of transportation, and we can go from there. In particular, this is the region. Well, I have to shift this over. Mesotopia is the region itself. Mesomasca is the area over here by name. And this is an area that is a lot like the Mediterranean in our real world. The temperatures are rather moderate to warm. It's not equatorial, but it's just north. All 6 of the countries that form this region, they generally get along, though they each do have distinct cultures built up around the terrain. I don't need to overload you with details for them, but you can see there's the 6 countries here that comprise Mesotopia. Now, something that's unifying all of Mesotopia, despite any squabbles or problems within each of the countries, is every city, and you build out from there. If not a city, a state, or a province, or the country itself, they all have their problems. But there are a couple more that have been growing, that are larger than many of the pettier squabbles that have happened in these regions. One of those is the fact that a great northern empire called Shadowhar has been sending ships down lately, which has applied some military pressure especially as they've been entering through Aslandia, which is a very arid, desert-like region. And while there has been no open warfare, there has been a cultural clash, as not only are they bringing an interesting technology that's not run in a similar fashion to the technology you know here in Mesotopia, theirs almost seems to be powered through some sort of necromancy. So, things like zombies and vampires are known to exist in this world as an actual thing, is a threat. There are elves and gnomes and dwarves and such, but that's every day to go into our title. These invaders have done a lot of trading as well. They've been very secretive about their technology, but they bring a lot of resources and wealth. They've been buying a lot of merchandise and things from people. So as far as all the rumors of invasion going, it's been a rather bloodless one, but it has caused a lot of clashes of culture and coin. Now, with all of this, there has been a lot more undead activity that has been rumored to be caused by the encroaching Northern Empire of Shadowheart. And of special note, whereas something like a zombie is pretty easy to spot, can be dispatched. It's not that it's not scary for someone who is living in a city or in the countryside, but there has been an outbreak of vampirism. And that's a lot more insidious, as these are people who, more often than not, can walk among many others, especially in an urban area. And they do feed off of the living, and depending on the circumstances, people are chosen or otherwise abducted to join the vampires, as they seem to be their own growing faction. And if that weren't enough, there is a third concern, in that, as redundant as it sounds, strange monsters have been seen sporadically appearing throughout all of the lands. Creatures made of flesh and metal, and of particular note to go over into Dr. Kent, something that we're going to explore for you. Down in Uct, where there's a great jungle, it's very humid. There's been an outbreak of trees that seem to be covered in flesh, just meat trees. So finding a way to handle that, to explore what causes this, how do we get rid of it? Many of the gnomes who live down in Uct are concerned. Many have gone missing. And it's not even just the gnomes. Many elves have been reported gone missing, whether that's to vampires or because of the strange activity of these creatures. That's a little bit up in the air, and of course, a lot of this can also be blamed, rightfully or not, on the invaders from the north, stealing people, conscripting, all sorts of bad things. I'm sure that you can imagine that come out of wartime fear-mongering, or just the rumor mills doing what they do best. And perhaps even more so than in a classic fantasy setting, a simpler time in Mesotopia, before we had ways to talk more quickly and about more things. How relevant they are, how truthful they are, I suppose that's up for everyone to decide, especially as others might be out there who can manipulate and control that information. So this is the scene that we're finding, the general setting here. And Dr. Kent, because we're going to start off with you, and for the other players, certainly listen if you want to hook into an organization, an activity, or a location. You're welcome to build off of this. But the prompt that I'm putting forward as we get to meet Dr. Kent is that You are inside a laboratory. Now, where would you like to be? Is this laboratory in Uct? Are you sort of in the belly of the beast, where these flesh trees are growing and these strange creatures are more often seen, or is your research more about something else that's natural and biological? Do you like studying the undead, or perhaps is this a laboratory that is a shared science with the Shadowhar from the north? What kind of a facility is this? I would like you to describe that to us.
Just back from an expedition to Uct. So this would be my home laboratory. This is not just mine. I work for a company, and the company's mostly interested in biological research, medical research. I'm usually more assigned to study like infectious diseases, trying to find a cure for various plagues. But they've pulled me off of that to look at what's going on with the meat trees, because that's super interesting and seems to be an environmental hazard that really needs to be dealt with. So I've got samples with me that I'm looking at and studying, and like right now I imagine I'm taking a sample out, putting it into a test tube and pouring various liquids in it to see the reactions that it has.
So interestingly enough, the trees, and you might have even lost some research companions in this.
Oh,
The trees have an odd way of drawing people in. Some sort of it overrides just instinctive safety measures, and the trees have faces on them, and the current theory is people who've been drawn in and sort of eaten or absorbed by the tree, their faces will appear sometimes pressed against the flesh that comprises it. So you wear gloves, please.
Always. Of course you have to wear gloves. It's protocol. You have to follow the protocol or you might get exposed.
Let me bring up the sheet here as well. You are definitely a woman of science here. Oh yeah, you are. You've earned your doctorate as well as you are an expert in medicine, and even in computers here. For your computer use, is this in building models and imaging? Generally, how do you interface with computers?
I design programs that run through test protocols so that it can run while I'm doing other things. So I'm familiar with setting up experiments that are made to run automatically. I also use it for research to see what other people have done and might be available to look at, mostly for those purposes.
All right. Well then.
It's very much a practical tool and not something I have for fun. Lord knows we don't have enough time for fun these days.
Well, I thought I drug your token out onto the map here, but did it show up for you at all?
I don't see it, no.
Oh. Let's try again. Oh, there we go.
Oh, I'm so tiny.
There we go.
So I'm definitely over.
Oh, go ahead. You're definitely what?
I'm definitely by the computers right now, and I'm inputting the data that I've just retrieved from the. Oh, that's very unusual. It shouldn't be reacting like that. This should be green and not pink.
For those who are watching and for those who are playing, the type of presentation you're going to see here is generally there's an image that I put up, and we're going to use this image as a reference, a basic scene that will act as a description of the room, and it could change. So, for example, if we don't see that there's a rack of test tubes here on this picture. However, it would seem reasonable for Dr. Kent to have some various test tubes in a lab like this. So let's use this as a prompt. There's some little, music playing in the background. And if there's something here that you would like to interact with or make commentary on, or to ask, is this here? I don't see a fire extinguisher, so clearly we have some fire code compliance issues. But it may very well be that there is a fire suppression system. We don't see it, but you would need to ask about it, Dr. Kent. So you're welcome to use the image and to interface with what you see, and we will see if there's anything else here available. So you're over by the computers. You're doing some work, and there is a test subject that is inside one of these containers here.
Okay. I was going to ask about that.
Now, this test subject doesn't have much to do with the trees. This is more the project in looking at medicine, in looking at this other part of your research before the face trees, the flesh trees were sidelining you. This is a person who has been afflicted with vampirism and has probably a member of your organization. This is a voluntary role. In his own research, he ended up succumbing to this vampiric disease or curse. It exists in a weird borderline area, which is probably also a part of your studies. In how is it that someone exists in a state like this? But they don't get sick, they don't age, they're coherent, unlike some types of spirits and especially zombies, which are just animated corpses. And so he is here undergoing some different trials as well, to test how does this work, as he would like to know too. And I don't know, he's probably listening to some music that's being piped in as you are working, and you're welcome to talk to him as well. I think we can presume that there's a comm system. You could interface with the computer, push a button, and he can talk from within the tube. But the tube is there for everyone's safety because even he admits that there's this hunger inside of him, this pain, and he doesn't want to lash out like what happened that caused him to become infected with vampirism. So this is currently the solution. Do you have any other questions or setup here before I continue?
Uh-oh. Hang on. Things have gone wonky here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Through?
Yep.
Okay. Sorry, it's something weird. Just my screen went goofy, and now my taskbar's on the side, and I don't know. I'll worry about it later.
It's Tuesday. This is the curse.
It is. Does this person in the test tube have, or in the chamber over here, does he have a name?
Yeah. Let's say, we'll say that he is an elven fellow named Newing.
Newing?
Newing, yes. I will write it up
Okay.
here.
That would be helpful.
He's not a doctor like you. This is someone who would have been a research assistant, and in this, he's a professional. He's just not, as accredited as you.
Got in the wrong place at the wrong time. Neween, how you doing in there? You all right? You hungry? Can I get you anything?
I'm fine, thank you. It's good work that you're doing, Doctor, and I appreciate it. As fascinating as this has been, I would rather be myself again.
Understood. We're doing the best we can. I still don't have a handle on what particular thing has happened to your blood, but it's very strange. Doesn't look like anything I've seen before.
I wish I was able to help even more, but I suppose that's what's got me caught up in this. I went a little bit above and beyond, and, well, now here I am.
Science would be nothing without the mistakes we've made on the way. So consider yourself a pioneer, if that helps. This does have some very interesting applications as far as longevity studies go, though.
You know what? This is some very good bedside manner. And let's... the way that you're able to route this here... while you're not proficient at it, let's have you make a persuasion check. As you're talking to this person, you're studying, you're kind of socializing as well, and let's see how you're able to compose him or yourself. All right, so
not great, no. My bedside manner needs work. I haven't been a real bed doctor. I've just been researching, so the things I'm seeing, they just don't hit me.
During your moments of talking here with Neween, you had your test tube and things were going on. Okay. Go ahead and make a perception as well.
Oh, I can do that. I'm much better at that. I see everything.
Wow, there we go. So, you're having this, I guess, tube side chat, and
in more ways than one.
Yeah. And the experiment that you are working on, maybe the reaction caused the substance inside to evaporate or to otherwise maybe precipitate or just change, as there's a little bit of a sludge inside, though with your very keen eye, not only do you catch that the test tube is empty save for some residual goo, it does look as if there's a little bit of a slime trail from the initial... There's a little splat by your foot. And there's a little slime trail that goes down into the grating of the lab here.
The situation here, yeah, and I will immediately start doing hazmat protocols to try and contain the spill. I'll get the spill kit out that we keep in a little cabinet, and start trying to contain this before it gets into the water system or anything.
Okay. Very good procedure. This is you go to start busying yourself. You're going around the lab. Newing is watching you, And do you want to leave the communication channel open? So he's speaking to you through the computer?
Yeah, because figure he's stuck in there with nothing else to do. The least I could do is keep him company.
Okay. Dr. Kent, what's going on?
It's probably nothing, but I seem to have made a bit of a spill, so I've got to clean my mess.
Oh, all right. Do you need help?
I should get it. I should be fine. I'm fine. We're all fine here. How are you?
All right. Well, go about your business. I guess I get to be the supervisor now.
That's right.
A half-hearted chuckle here, because that's really what he's been resigned to do. So your instincts kick in. You go to get a cleanup kit, and you have the materials. There's not been any kind of a reply back through the computers or over the center's speakers.
Am I here alone? Or are there other people working in this room?
There should be other... you're alone in the room with Newing. There's other people in the facility.
Okay. Am I able to clean this up, or is this going to be a bigger problem?
Yeah. You come over here. You have the cleanup kit, and
Like muttering to myself, it doesn't make any sense. This wasn't supposed to happen. It was just saline. What the hell?
Tell you what, roll a medicine in your cleanup here. I think that would be applicable. Now, you're an expert in this, so I expect good things. Whoa, look at that green number. Look at you.
Yes!
All right. So, yeah, this is... You are very certain that... that you are not contaminated, that things have been wiped up. Now, for this channel and whatever spilled and flowed down into it, I mean, you can try and wash some solution down there, but there's no residue. There's no residue left here, and you're not, I don't know, no gloves are punctured, or you don't feel funny or anything along those lines.
I'm still going to note it in the laboratory logs that happened, just in case somebody would need to check on it later.
The laboratory log opens, you type it out, and you hit enter, and the screen is blank, as if it didn't send the message. You typed it. You swore you typed it.
Please tell me there hasn't been another software update. I will try to figure out if the computer is malfunctioning, or if there's something, like if the program is bad that I was trying to get put together, or if something bad has happened to the actual computer. Is it a program? Is it a hardware or software thing, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Got it. Well, as you are proficient with these medical computers, you're more than that, you're an expert at them, go ahead and roll another computer, too.
Oh, computer, okay. That's a 25. Not bad, not bad.
Whew. All right.
The dice are kind.
Boy, you hit the biological purge button in the lab, because you are on fire.
Oh, good. I don't have to hit the emergency button and evacuate, because then there's like forms to fill out, and then there's all the saline washes and all of the showers you got to go through. Oh, this is so much easier.
Things should be working. And maybe it was because you're looking for a glitch. Maybe you psyched yourself up. There could have been one. For a moment, that could have been a reflection of you in the monitor. Maybe it flickered. there was definitely a face, like yours, eyes that that looked into yours for a moment as you're going over. You're looking down and up, and the tube over here. Boop, 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 boop. The tube starts to move on the mechanism to fit into.
The one that Nui is in?
Yeah, the one that Nguyen is in. Doctor, are you? Do you need help? If you're letting me out, that's fine.
No. That's not supposed to be happening. I'll hit the abort. Is there like an abort button or a stop everything kind of button? Can I hit that?
Yeah. Yep,
That
you can
seems
hit
wrong.
it. Yep. It is wrong, and you can absolutely hit that button, and absolutely nothing will happen.
Oh shh. We maybe have a problem. I don't like this. I'm trying very hard to stay calm, but it's kind of leaking through. So that bedside manner that I didn't have, I don't have it even worse now. And I'm gonna start going through and trying to cut the power to those anything that was related to that computer station. Like if there's some kind of virus, if there's a computer thing in there that's going around like a virus, or I want to stop it before it gets to anything else.
Yeah. So you're not proficient at mechanics, but you know the lab enough that I think calling for a mechanics it's solid. Just a straight up number. Go ahead and give that to me. You're trying. Okay, let's. No. We gotta have.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, nice.
21. This is my home. I'm here more than I am at my actual house.
The tube containing Nguyen is affixed into its station, and it's standing up. And before the the release sequence completes, that the doors open, you pull the plug. Dr. Kent, is everything okay?
Sure, yet status pending.
And Nguyen nods, and as he's looking down. Dr. Kent, I believe that there's something, and the computer stops broadcasting the voice from inside the tube.
Immediately, I look at his tube, investigate it. What is going on? Is he okay in there? I knock on the glass.
At the base, where it had affixed to this drain or pump or this conduit in the base, there is something that has come up through into the bottom of his containment tube and is currently working its way into the flesh of his leg. And
what?
You can hear muffled, he's bumping against it as he's trying to pat. He can't really bend down because he's in this research tube for containment. He can't really bend down. He's stomping his leg, and you're hearing a very muffled, Doctor, it's wiggling inside me.
Is there any kind of a power wash system or a flushing system that's inside of this chamber, for cleaning it out or neutralizing whatever might be inside of there, chemically?
I will say that if you want to push the acid bath button, presumably that would work. Though you would also be giving Nguyen an acid bath.
He's proven extremely resilient. He can't be killed as far as I can tell, and regenerates, right? That we've seen?
He does have some of that, yes. Although, interestingly enough, running water acts as acid on him.
Well, maybe acid
just even pure distilled running water seems to act as acid on him.
Have we ever experimented with acid on him?
Probably in small doses and out of the way places, yes.
Can I make some kind of a roll to know whether this is a greater or lesser effect on him than other people?
Oh, well, this acid is meant for biocontainment. Like, this is not, you take an allergy test and they're like, okay, we're gonna put like a reduced potency drop of this thing and give you like just the little prick of a needle, like just in the upper layer of your skin to see if it maybe gets a little pinkish. Like this is acid. This is going to melt him.
Okay, then I don't want to do that. Is there a way to seal off the lab from the rest of the facility, like a kill button or a fail-safe button, so I can seal us both in here?
Yes. There is as part of a containment protocol.
That's what I'm going to do then. I don't want this getting any further than where it is already. There's no sense infecting else.
Okay. So yeah, you dash over. You're trying to get through it, but the system seems very bogged down now.
It's like somebody's running bots on the thing.
It's like there's just like 1,000 GIFs that are playing in the background that no one's looking at, and it's and as you're doing that, you're hearing as Nguyen is thrashing in the tube. And you see that he is becoming discolored, and he's starting to warp. The glass, as one of his arms is twisted and bulking now. One of the tube now gets a crack down it, as he doesn't even he's not trying to punch through. Just in his spasms, his body is thrown against the glass.
Against all my better judgment, once I've sealed the lab, I will open up the tube and try to treat him like person to person. Because I'm sure this is a bad idea, but I can't stand seeing him in pain. I just can't. It's not in my nature. I work like that. I know it's against all the protocols, but I've sealed the room. Nothing's getting out of here. I'm letting him out.
Very Prometheus scientist of you. Very good. All right, let's go over and you approach, and while he has now caused some more cracks and even openings in the glass that have strained against the containment, the glass tube it's filled with some sort something very similar to what was inside the test tube that you were working on, even in that chemically enhanced or tested state. And it's just coating. Nothing is like oozing out, but it's just it's kind of like a liquid scab has formed around the inside, and in some parts where there were cracks, the outside of this place, or of this little containment tube.
I am wearing all kinds of PPE, protective equipment. I've got the gloves, I've got the lab coat on, I've got the face shield down, and I'm going to go ahead and try and open this capsule.
All right. You go over. There's an emergency, like a manual release. Probably has something. You got to like pump the handle and then like click the latch
it's made to open when things aren't powered. Yeah.
Yeah, so you do the crisscross applesauce, all the hand gestures, the arcane finger wiggles, and
you put your left foot in, you put your left foot out, put your left foot in, and you shake it all about. Yeah.
While you're doing this, there are still no alarms going off. No one has called in to the room.
There should be alarms going off as soon as I hit that containment. There should have been all kinds of alarms going off. I'm letting that sit in the back of my mind. I'm not worried about that right now. I want to get him out of that tube and start to treat him if I can.
The tube opens a little bit, and there's just these kind of like thick mucus bridges of slime as this thing is almost opening up like you're draining a boil or something.
This is the worst thing about treating Grandpa was all the boils I had to lance. Oh, it's giving me flashbacks. Ugh.
Immersion.
So
If
as
you want
far
to
as
get
Grandpa-
Newing out, you are gonna have to like pry open because the
Oh,
doors only
God.
went so far before this like liquid scabby material.
It's coming
Uh,
up the works, so to speak. I'm gonna try. I am not strong. I am not a strong person, but I will try to pry the door open.
All right, give me an athletics.
Yeah, I got a plus nothing on that one. Oh, 13, not terrible.
Not terrible. It's not going to be enough to get it fully opened. So you're in there. You're wearing gloves and goggles and everything. So I mean, the equipment is getting dirty, and not you. You're pulling it, and it's not moving any further. Though what might have you be taken aback is Newing's face, but not up where it should be, more down around where his midsection should have been. His face for a moment just sort of comes out, squeezes between the not fully open door, and there are some components from inside this test chamber, various wires. In fact, probably the speaker that was inside there is now occupying his face, like as his mouth and maybe even part of his nose.
His face in the belly, or where his face used to be on the top of his body?
The face in the belly has a
Okay.
speaker for a mouth.
Okay,
It hurts. As he
Oh.
speaks through the speaker, as in, like, this is needing to cause an electronic reverberance with the magnets in the speaker kind of a thing.
Is there anything in this lab like a iron bar, a crowbar, or something I can smash this thing open with?
Yeah. Let's see. If we had you come over here for the spill kit, probably, I don't know, somewhere on the other side of the room over here, there's got to be something here that you can use to smash that. As you are here, now what looks like arms with several elbows, and when I say an odd number of fingers, you go, well, of course you should have 5. Yes, you should, but I'm talking about a strange number of fingers, and the fingers also seemingly come and go at the end of the several elbowed arm, and elsewhere.
Like
as-
it doesn't have bones? It's like almost like a plasmoid type creature?
Well, yeah, you're seeing bones, but they're strange bones. This doesn't appear to be like a pure tentacle, but they're now starting to reach out, and as that happens, with incredible strength, this one will tear. I mean, if you wanted a bar, this one tears the bar, and it rings the other pod. It just bing, over against it, and you start seeing components from this pod being drawn into the fleshy pudding. This several elbowed arm continues now, and it sort of slithers across over to this pod as you're across the room trying to get a pipe or something.
Okay, well, I'm not going to run with the pipe anymore. Is there a communication system, a phone I can ring up, like security or anything like that? Something that's not hooked up with the computers.
You can
Or
try the
intercom
manual release on the. You can try the manual release on the door,
I
similar to
want
the.
to call. I want to be able to call somebody from out, like outside from in here. Is that possible?
There would be nothing that wouldn't already be tried or compromised through the computer system.
Okay.
So if you want to try and get a hold of someone and no one's coming in, you are going to have to, use the manual override to get the door open and
I don't
leave
want to
or
open
fetch
the
someone.
door. All right. Oh, do I have my cell phone? So I have a cell phone. Do I have it on me?
Yes, yeah. Well, ooh, you're in the lab.
Yeah, probably. Not.
It's in your locker. How about
Yeah, I
that?
knew it.
It's probably in
Yeah.
your locker because we can't have secrets leave.
Right. Frick.
Could be worse. It could be inside your PPE equipment and can't get to it.
Yeah. You're padding around spreading this weird slime. It's not getting to you, but you're like, that juice ain't worth the squeeze.
That is like one hell of a sinus infection. I'm telling you what. Okay. I have a thing. I don't know if it will work. I have a plan I'd like to enact. It's called I Have the Cure.
Okay.
When you enact this plan, you can administer a prepared curative agent to myself or an ally, and at level 3, it's a dart that I can shoot within 60 feet. And it says ending either one illness or one condition affecting the target. Oh, wait. Blinded, deafened, paralyzed, sickened. Would you say this is sickened? And level 3
It's sickening, but what this thing is beyond...
Okay, so it probably wouldn't work then.
Yeah, this is beyond your normal medicine.
All right, I'm going to... Even though the thing is open, I'm pretty sure that Muim is not going to care if I pour acid on him at this point, if he's even still alive. I'm going to go ahead and even though it's broken, can I try to enact the acid wash?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if I have to make like a mechanics roll or something to do that, or...
No, you come over here and you activate the acid wash protocol here, and there's no real there's no thrashing. There's not a bunch of there's not like a smoke or a mist or a weird like an acrid smell coming from the tube, which might mean it's either not interacting with the acid or maybe the delivery system is clogged up.
Okay.
There's a whoop. From the metal door on the other side, there's a slow rhythmic knock.
I don't have time to deal with that right now. Nah. Not gonna work either. Dang it! I do have a feat that I can do. It's called Dangerous Stuff. I can concoct a thrown weapon, and I can choose the type of damage.
Okay.
When I do this, I would like to make this electrical. No, not electrical. Cold damage. And it is a attack mode. Sorry, it's a +5 to throw it. +5 to a d20, and then a damage of a d6 of whatever damage type I've got here. Basically says you take over leftover stuff that you have in your possession, and you can make a throw like a splash weapon out of it, like an acid grenade or whatever. But I'd like it to be an exothermic reaction where it's not exo. Endothermic. Whatever the one is that makes it cold.
Endothermic would make it
That's
cold.
the one.
It draws in it draws in heat. It doesn't expel heat.
Because I'm running through my brain. It's probably okay with electricity since it sort of messed with the computer. At least that's what I'm thinking. So electricity won't work. Acid, it might just be okay with acid. So I'm thinking cold. you want me to roll that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's an attack roll. I don't have it set up as one, so I just have to do it in D20 plus.
Yeah, just go ahead and roll it. And I trust you to add the appropriate modifier.
Okay, I didn't add anything, so this is 8 plus 5, which would be 13.
So it's not hard to hit, considering that during this time it's been pulling more substance into itself. You deliver this frosty attack, and it's having an effect. It is slowing down the juicier parts, though.
You want me to roll damage for that?
Don't worry about damage for this.
Okay, all right.
This thing is very large and a very interesting thing. This alone will not stop it.
Okay.
But it is offering a hint in perhaps ways that you could deal with it. So you turn to throw it, and you see Nguyen's head that has come out, and there's just coils of wires, and there's instead of vertebrae for like a neck bone, there's just odd, like there's a leg bone in there too.
Doctor, run. I can't hold it back. Save yourself. You're too kind.
Can't accept that answer. What do I have?
The door is now, instead of like some sturdy knocks, it's da 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 da.
I'm gonna go to the door and I'm just gonna start banging on it myself. Like, if there's a pause, when they're done hitting, I'll hit back to let them know that there is someone in here.
We're evacuating! Open up!
I'm trying, but I enacted lab protocol. There's a containment breach issue here.
There's a containment breach issue every fucking where! Come out of there!
Is there a way to open the door at this
Yeah,
point?
there's a manual, just like there was a manual escape for the tubes. There's like you could just like, pump the thing 3 times or twist the whatever.
I have no reason not to believe them. I've seen it myself. I'm going to go ahead and open the door.
All right, you open the door, and as you're running out, there's a security team that's here for the lab, and they are they're covered in gore. Certainly there's blood. There's substance that looks kind of like the weird scabrous material, like the liquid scab that you saw in the early part of this reaction. And as you're looking around, your lab is an absolute mess. Everywhere. There are blood stains. There are bodies. There are parts of people that are crawling on the ground, but they're doing so because, I don't know, the rotary mechanisms in the vending machine are now causing an arm to just sort of like slowly twist along the bottom, along the floor of the lab as it's crawling.
Noping the hell out. I said, don't touch me. I'm contaminated. I'm covered with this stuff. Let's get the hell out of here. I don't think there's anybody else alive in that lab. And I was working with Nguyen, but I think he's not Nguyen anymore.
You make your escape, and along the way, the security team, you run into a couple others. You need to make a decision here, Doctor. There's someone who apparently is in the stages of becoming infected or combined with these other elements. Do you want to just pass by? I don't know if you want to stay and look at it, or do you want to command, or do you want to dispatch the person yourself or order security to give him the old double tap for assurance?
Have I learned anything about this substance in my research so far, or is it all pretty well stuff?
I'm sure that there are general consideration notes, yes, that we can come up with the specifics if something does come to mind. We'll say that this is actually a research doctor that you know, who is like succumbing to this. Like you can actually watch a wire that is slowly, like almost like a suture, but a wire that is spiraling up and then like just underneath his skin.
The only thing I know to do that's any kind of help at all is I can try to knock him out. So at least he doesn't feel the pain when it happens. 'Cause I don't know how to stop this.
All right. You give him hopefully a mercy of unconsciousness, and
Like a really big overdose of morphine or something.
and continue on. You make it to, because you know, and security knows the way to the like the helipad to get out of there, and inside the helicopter, as you are there, you've made your way through this facility that is itself turning into something, as metal and flesh seem to be combining as well, and the people inside are going through some things. There's a gentleman who is sitting inside, and he seems to have very like a dark golden complexion, like almost like an antique gold, where just like a shimmer across his face of it. Otherwise, like just a beautiful, richly toned flesh. Doctor, I'm glad that you were able to escape. You don't know me, and you don't have to, but I am going to be your friend, and a fast friend, because I think that you have what it takes in order to help this situation. The helicopter door closes, and your particular scene will end in this, in media res. I guess we started a little slower than that, as this mysterious figure is sitting in the helicopter with you. The helicopter is not it's on lab property, and it seems like it might be from the lab, but now that you're looking around, it's not, at least not official lab. Like, it doesn't have the logo or anything.
Okay, next scene. This is good. I need to think.
Meanwhile, Fragment, what are you doing in this computer lab? Is this any particular company or faction or countries? Is this your own lab? Where are we, and what are you doing?
I forgot that I muted myself when I took that call earlier. Hello. So, John, calendar, Fragment. Most of the time, he's a boring analyst. So he is here working for the faculty, whatever that might be. And he's just analyzing data, watching camera streams go by, watching the programs tick away, looking at faces on security streams, watching numbers roll by, making sure nothing suddenly starts blinking, trying to get his attention.
Sure. All right. Now, the faculty is is your employer that you know, that you don't know? You don't care because they give you money?
So, the faculty is everything to John. The faculty is his employer, his houser, his everything. John doesn't live in one specific part of the world because the faculty has branches everywhere. They may not be the faculty. It may be the Motorola store. It might be the grocery store on the corner. Somewhere in a basement. Somewhere in an attic. Perhaps in a van. They are actually an intelligence gathering community. Or agency.
Well, thank you for telling me. I won't let your secret out, okay? You can trust me. Then, in this regard, this particular front for the faculty, You are working in the Delis computer, like the headquarters for Delis brand computers. You perhaps with the introduction of this technology that the Shadowhar from the north are bringing, very clandestinely, Delis has been trying to understand how their computers are working, as it works on a different system, yet it produces similar results. Could there be a way to combine it or understand it, market it, or even for patriotic reasons to the Mesotopia region, exploit it and use it against the Shadowhar? Is this a case in our real world? We had Independence Day. Can you use an Apple product from the 90s to defeat an intergalactic alien menace? And so you're at your station here in Delis Computer HQ. And let me get your character sheet up one moment. Oop, there we go. As you're looking for activity, you're looking for patterns. You have been noticing some very interesting glitches lately that are preventing data from being transmitted. You haven't exactly been able to lock down a pattern to it, but it does seem like there's a kind of interference. Perhaps this evening you are onto something. There is an idea that you have, and in fact, I want you to roll me a computer's check to see how refined this particular bit of inspiration is.
We've gotten a 26.
Whew, all right.
That is quite refined.
Often, this interconnectivity has been called, has been hearkened to some kind of a web. This interference, you have a theory through Delis Tech here, and using their latest version of their software. This is of their Flame operating system. This is the Blue Flame version. This is not available to people yet. They don't have blue clearance. Your theory is that there's kind of a creeping parallel web. Now, we have a version of the dark web in our real world. This would be more of a mysterious or a literally dark take, where there's something that is sometimes interfering, but almost using the infrastructure like a creeping vine would climb a tree. Or there's some other, let's see, you have, you have a latent +3 in natural sciences, but whatever parallel you can come up with. And today seems to be a particularly active one for growth. Of this, I don't know, parasite, this parallel something. You can call it what you want, because you're probably the only one who's been able to kind of understand it.
Much like a creeping vine, I assume that I might start to come to the conclusion that the interference or the lack of ability to transmit data is because it's now touching that system, has started to grow over that system, steal the sunlight, as it were.
Yeah, it's almost like it's an interference from that entwining or that puncturing, where now the vine is competing for the same water as the tree, or it's drawing water from the tree. So now the top of the tree is not getting as much water, or the nutrients might not be making it all the way back down from the canopy because it's being leached off of by this vine. So as you're transmitting data packets or whatever else, there are some that just don't get received. It doesn't seem to be something like, oh, it's a keyword, or this is probably some, another country's spy agency and they don't want you to say a particular word or something. It's not been consistent in what the words or the information is, but there is a leaching of data and information. You can send an idea, and then the next idea you send doesn't make it, and you can send it again, and it would arrive in a partial state.
He's gonna lean back for a minute, and he's gonna think about it. He's gonna lean forward, and he's gonna start attacking again. The idea here is he's gonna try and see if there is a physical component to the data that's being traced. So, like, are there a cluster of servers that are causing this issue? Is there a physical location to the software moving? Like in real life, oftentimes the information that you're seeking, you have to transfer across multiple servers to actually get to where your information is. And those are in different physical locations.
Okay.
So he's trying to see if there's any matching pattern like that. If I
Roll me an
if I send it,
investigation.
investigation, we've gotten a 17.
Oh, this isn't a 20 plus. I'm disappointed.
I know, right?
There's a very high standard now. Kincaid and Bernard are just kind of, all right, well, we got to live up to expectations here. You're putting this together, and you can change the verbiage of it, but as an idea presented to you, you went looking for this, and in its own way, you almost had this let's see, so you're on your device and you're trying to piece these things together, and when a digital version of a spider in the rafters, you didn't see it, you didn't hear it, and now, like, there's this little guest. So you have this little dark spider visitor. So it maybe in a moment, again, doesn't have to be a word. You're like, oh, well, welcome, little spider, to my trap, or whatever. As it seems like the device that you're using has a node, a spider of this dark web, or I don't know, some other metaphorical insect or something else that has been drawn into your device that you're using to create or study.
Okay. So, we'll say that that's his laptop computer that he's using.
Okay.
He's going to... I assume it's probably going to take a little bit of time for him to realize. And how does he notice it? I guess I should ask. How does he realize that there is this spiderling? Is it a new program, a new icon? Is it?
Yeah. In fact, at first it might have very well been a spider that just descended. It looked like a bug that was crawling across your screen. I don't know if you slap it or shoo it or try to blow it away. And you realize that it's in your screen. It's a little thing. It's a little visual manifestation that is crawling in your computer.
Interesting. So he'll take a little bit of time with it. He'll kind of see if the mouse will poke it, if it'll interact the mouse. Kind of brace it and follow it with that.
Yeah. All right, you go to boop the snoot of this bug, and roll a perception, please.
We shall do it. Is it 14?
There's a flash on your screen as you click it. Everything is restored back. Maybe it just blanked out or something along those lines. There's no other particular details to catch other than you clicked it. It did something. There was a reaction. Your screen blinked for a moment, but it's there. And when you move your mouse away, you see that one of the legs of this bug is still connected and is sort of elongated from the body, and it's on the mouse. So if you drag your mouse up and to the right a little bit, then this little like bug arm goes up with it. But the bug doesn't move off your screen.
Okay. He's absolutely excited. This is more than just data moving around, and in his excitement, he's going to reach around to the backpack behind him and grab out a Faraday pouch and shove his laptop into that.
Okay.
So a Faraday pouch is an item that says by placing an electronic device inside of a Faraday pouch, you can block it from sending or receiving wireless signals. It prevents unwanted snooping or hacking on the device. And his hope here is that if this thing is now on his device and communicating with something, he's about to isolate it.
Yeah. Okay.
Very nice.
All right. As far as you are concerned or see in this moment, the bug is in the jar.
He'll be very proud of himself, and then he'll continue what he's actually supposed to be doing for the faculty, watching the lines scroll by, looking for faces of known enemy operatives.
All right. The tabs you have kept on, if not you, the organization that's entrusting you, you are getting a notification that one of the labs is you've lost communication with it.
Okay.
And it's presumed that something dire has happened.
I pull up the notice. I see the location. Kind of look around, scan through the architecture, see that there's not really anyone else available or in the local area. So I will write out on the system that Fragment will look into the situation physically. And then I will use my global contacts to arrange transportation to the facility.
Ah, very good. How would you like to approach?
Well, we'll just
by air, by sea. We don't have a fixed location of the lab, but let's just
right.
In general, how are you wanting to get there?
By land,
okay.
Unless it's I would like to arrive at the facility in a ground vehicle. If I have to go pretty far with across the continent per se, right? Maybe a little bit of air involved.
Okay. Yeah. Are you taking your laptop, your contained laptop with you, or are you leaving that in the facility?
That will stay with me in the Faraday pouch, as well as all my other things. And then I also have a really fancy car, apparently.
Okay.
A sports car or something like that, as part of being in the espionage industry. So I'll be putting the Faraday pouch and the laptop in the back of that. That is in the what is my profession? Espionage.
Yeah.
Spot. Let me find espionage in the book here. Because I forgot to put it on my character sheet. Profession.
As time passes, and this is going to be, you won't be at that facility where we left off with Dr. Kent. This will be sometime after, so she'll have things that have happened for her. During your travel to that facility, as you are in a land vehicle, a strange airship is going to very quickly descend down on the vehicle that you are in, and open fire on it. It is an unmistakably Shadowhar small airship vessel in design. Now, is that who's piloting it? Who's controlling it? I'll leave that for you to play that spy guessing game, layers of mystery. But the vehicle does come down quickly, as quietly as possible, though there is the engines of these machines always make this weird, kind of a haunting sound. It's kind of... It gives you a shiver, not from physical cold, just a weird thing. Instinctive. And they're going to open fire on the vehicle that... now, not your personal nice vehicle. This is the one that you've clandestinely arranged through your global contacts here. Now, you have an option. This can start a chase, or if you want to try and have a firefight to repel this small craft with people who, I guess, want you, or whatever. Are you fighting or flighting in this moment?
Advanced air vehicle, definitely going to attempt to evade. Much flight.
Okay. So then.
Let's run very fast.
What we will do... we will keep this simple. Were you the one driving, or are you the passenger and your contact, or whatever valet of your contact is driving?
I would be the driver. I would have rented the vehicle, or I would have been the driver. I'd be solo.
All right. Then we are going to have a little chase here. Now, I'm going to say that this is a 4-round chase for reasons that can be explained depending on the results. So we are going to we're going to have well, it's not quite a back and forth. A lot of this is really going to be on you, and your performance will either give the enemy a heads up, or an advantage over you, or you will be the one to pull ahead. There's not too much unless we're trying to exchange bullets, where I'm rolling dice and you're rolling dice, and we're like pew-pewing. I gotcha. No, I didn't. Yeah, I did. Kind of a thing. So this is going to be on you to get away, and I will give you 4 rounds to get away before something bad in the spy world would presumably happen. So we will have this. Chase points, and we're going to have the start of each chase round. The GM announces a complication, either an obstacle that must be dealt with, such as a hazard, or a situation or circumstance to be overcome, which would be a challenge. And let's say let's say that the opening assault damaged some of the electronics in your vehicle. Your vehicle can still move, but maybe you can steer, maybe you don't have power steering unless you can find a way to resolve it and bring your car back to maximum performance. Fortunately, you weren't the one who was hit, but I don't know, maybe you have an affection for machines here. So I'm going to say that this is your challenge. You are level 3. We're gonna set your DC to what is the handy dandy chart? It might just end up being. We're gonna say it's this is a 13 a DC 13 chase. So for this, scroll through here. There we go. On a successful check, the character's side gains 1 chase point. If the check succeeds by 10 or more, the character's side gains 2 chase points. On a failure, the character muddles through, nothing happens. If the check fails by 5 or more, the opposing side gains a chase point. So, in this instance here, it doesn't have to make sense. This is action movie stuff. You're a tech person. I believe we can suspend some disbelief where you can, you're driving, you're steering, and you can reach and just sort of like rewire the wires that were sundered by the initial assault here. So I want you to roll a. This one's not your best. It's not impossible. Give me a mechanics roll. Now, you are floating a Fickle God's Favor, or you can use the point on your sheet if you wish. Or you could just roll, because you have a +3 to it, so you'd need a 10 or greater to at least pass by. But ultimately, you want to get ahead of. You want to have more points at the end of 4 rounds than the enemy.
Right. All right, so mechanics check to try and give my car a little juice. What did I get?
You have a 14, so on a successful check,
there it is.
You gain 1 chase point. So right now, we have you with 1, enemy with 0 chase points. So you continue driving. You get your power steering back as you're going. You're steering with maybe even your knee as you're trying to come on. You're rewiring your car as this thing is just sort of hovering, and it's making that eerie keening sound, which is now really starting to. It's really starting to eat at you. It's interfering with your ability to think. There's just this weird vibe. I'm going to say that this sound is a hazard. And so this is going to be an intelligence saving throw to be coherent through these loud whispers and these keening wails coming from the strange engines of this small craft that's harrying you.
I clicked the right thing, and I got an 18.
So that is actually a 5 or more. On a success, the character is safe, nothing happens. If the save succeeds by 5 or more, the character's side gains 1 chase point. So actually, you are at 2, the enemy is at 0. All right, you're able to clear your thoughts, and while this is happening, and yes, you're going along the road, there's some bumps, and you're swerving, so the momentum is shifting. I would like you to make a perception check.
Okay.
For this next, not a hazard, but this next challenge, as there could be something that catches your eye that is not easily available to your senses.
The 20.
All
Dirty
right.
20.
So that's not 10 or more, but that does succeed. So you're at 3 chase points. The enemy is still at 0. You see that the pack that contains your laptop has the... Is this like a soft pack, kind of like, you know, what your pizza's delivered in, because it has that foil on the inside? Is this like
Yep.
Is this... Huh? It is?
Yep,
Okay.
think of that pizza delivery thing, exactly.
All right. So you're seeing from inside your pack that, like, the top of your laptop pushing up. So you're seeing this like a hard line that sort of comes up, as if the top of your laptop is maybe you took a bump and the latch let go, but the top of your laptop is flapping underneath the soft top here of the pizza bag, because you're totally a pizza delivery guy and not an international spy. Wink.
That's right. In fact, it says pizza right across the top of it. No, I'm kidding.
Folks, there you go. It literally says pizza. You can't doubt that. And so finally, we're gonna come back around. We're gonna come back around to a hazard. The enemies chasing you realize that you're almost gone. They have to do something, a last minute moment of desperation, and so you will catch a whiff of their stinky cologne of desperation, as this enemy is willing to ram their vehicle into yours to try and stop you during this chase. So this is an all-or-nothing gambit. Now, whether or not it's they're meaning to put themselves in immediate peril, it seems like it. If they actually crashed at the high speeds you're going, the tires are squealing. I should have my chase music going. Sorry, I don't. But you know, this would imperil many other normal or reasonable people. You're welcome to take from this what you will. But now I want you. While there are different vehicle whatevers, let's make this about you. This is sort of a tutorial thing. We're going through some basics. I want you to make a dexterity save. Maybe we'll say that one of the runners that's underneath this airship, as they're trying to, maybe they're trying to hook the car with the runners on the bottom and maybe like haul you away because they can't. They're having trouble, and so you have to get your head out of the way of this metal runner, giving you a final destination treatment through the windshield. And
Okay.
if any of you out there know what I'm talking about, congratulations. That's a very visceral statement that will automatically make sense.
That is a 4, which means this is the end of John Calendar's career. No, I'm kidding. See what happens.
All right. So in this case, now you didn't fail the save by 10 or more. You would have done that on a 3. So you, the other side doesn't get 2 points. They'll only get 1. However, you are still going to emerge the victor. You will be alive, though your car will have received damage. But hey, I mean, you're on this side of the ground, and that's perhaps what's important. And there is a how can we say this? We'll say that the car does get damaged. You are still alive. And the car, however, is from all this, maybe at some point a bullet hit the fuel line. You've been bleeding out fuel this whole time, and your car is ending. Though before you are ended by this group, there is a helicopter that is incoming, and this helicopter is apparently baleful to the people who have been pursuing you, as they flee the helicopter landing not too far away from your from your vehicle. And there is a man who gets out of the helicopter. He doesn't approach the car, though he simply will hold up a device, and you can see that the symbol of the faculty is on that device.
Okay. John's, he's like on the side of the road, like the car's just finished coming to a rolling dead stop with the engine being out of fuel. And the first thing he does is he reaches back and grabs a hold of the Faraday pouch and like slaps it down so that like it'll if the laptop's still open, it'll close on the inside. And then he pulls it into the front seat with him, and he gets out and he looks. And when he notices it's the faculty symbol, he kind of lets down his guard a little bit. He moves his hand away from the inside of his jacket, and he nods towards the helicopter.
Delivery man, Papa John is here. Understood.
It has been delivered. I repeat, the pizza has been delivered.
I don't believe that was 30 minutes or less. So do we get it free?
Be glad it's still warm.
The gentleman is someone that you've not seen before, and he has his skin has an odd luster to it. It's as if it's like a sealed mahogany wood, but the luster almost has like a golden sparkle to it, that when you catch in the light, there's just like a warm golden glow. Otherwise, it comes across as this just like a beautifully finished, polished piece of a dark wood. Fragment. I'm glad I was able to find you in time. We need to talk. Allow me to introduce myself. The helicopter door closes, and it takes off, and we are going to move on to Kincaid.
Sounds good, thank you. I'll be back in just a little bit.
Meanwhile, across town, or in another country, Kincaid, how's life going for you, my friend?
Life ain't been good for Kincaid. Kincaid doesn't have a job. Kincaid doesn't want a job. Kincaid is trying to live off the grid.
Okay.
Because if Kincaid is found, then the society that raised Kincaid, the secret society of gentlemen murderers, they're not going to be very happy with Kincaid. And Kincaid doesn't always talk in the third person, but sometimes Kincaid does.
Just out of curiosity, Kincaid, and I promise that this secret is between you and me, is your particular organization, does that go by any one name, or is one of the names of this organization called the Faculty?
I just knew them as the Society when they were raising me.
Okay. That can very well work. Although, I'll tell you what, Kincaid, maybe Fragment had a good idea, and after a car chase, it might be good to take a quick break behind the convenient tree or bush. Kincaid, can we come back to you real quick after like 5 minutes, and then we'll pick up with you and Bernard?
Certainly.
Okay. Sorry, I know we just got over there. I said, you know what, though? I think this would be a good quick break time for myself and for our audience. So we'll pick up Kincaid, and we'll be right back. But let's take that quick break, everyone, and we'll go and meet the others here.